Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV. Welcome to the match review of our 5-0 win against Huddersfield. And you know what, before I say anything, I need to say thank you to Huddersfield. Why am I thanking them? Because they came here with absolutely no game plan. They tried to press us at times, but they weren't really doing it with any conviction. We beat the press time and time again. Defensively, they weren't compact. And it was the first game this season where it's like, the space we had between the lines was ridiculous. There was no pressure on anyone. Now, it made guys like Ross Barkley look good today. Now, I sound a bit mean, but I'm going to touch on Ross later on in this match review. But you guys, before I get into anything, if you like this video, smash the like button. Help me get more than 500 likes for today's video. And don't forget to press the bell notification button as well to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. But you guys know I start things starting with the lineup, and you know what? There was context in regards to why Sarri picked this lineup he did. Number one, Emerson being injured meant Alonso had to play. And of course, with Ross Barkley starting over Ruben. Ruben isn't perfect just yet. He's not fully fit. It's smart to not risk him. This month is going to be hectic, with Malmo, Spurs, United. It's going to be a crazy hectic month. And I think that in this game today, Sarri showed that he's thinking about the future. But anyway, you guys, starting with the game. And it kind of just set the precedent now. I thought our passing was very sharp. It was very good. David Luiz played some excellent balls out from the back, and I wish his fan base put some more respect on his name. Yes, his 50-50 tackling isn't amazing, but when it comes to defending, in my opinion, it's not just about winning a 50-50, it's about your positioning, closing off the passing lanes, positional sense, everything. But look at how he starts our attacks. He's the only guy in the world that has that ability. I don't think there's a better ball-playing defender than David Luiz. And when I was watching this game today, I kept thinking, wow, I like David Luiz and Christensen together. Now with Christensen, he's another guy I feel that doesn't get enough respect on his name. I think that he's too classy for his own goods. Now with Christensen, you have to really watch him to understand why he's such a great player. A lot of the defending Christensen does isn't even with winning tackles or 50-50s. It's about smart things like he might move a few yards to the right to try and close off a passing lane. And he was doing that time and time again today, where it's like on the counter-attack, he's amazing at defending because he knows what position to be in to stop anything from happening. And I think that playing alongside Luiz, where Christensen is a bit more supportive. And for me, this is why I like to see Christensen and Luiz. And with Christensen, he's looking more confident. That's because he's getting the game time. I think that Sarri should trust him a bit more. I thought it was a very good performance today. There were even times where Christensen could carry the ball into midfield to start stuff. And that's what he's really good at. And I think with Rudiger, yeah, he's a good player. I'm going to sound harsh, but I've never thought he's really a first-class defender. I think he's the type of guy that you have in the squad at a big club. I think his positional sense and his heading ability isn't amazing, and even that loss to Bournemouth a few days ago, he wasn't really anywhere to help close any danger. And just compare Christensen. Christensen's always analysing the game, sniffing out things before it happens, and I think that we have to really start looking at defending and respecting it a bit more. Defending is not just about winning a 50-50. It's more than that. Really analyse Christensen's game. But you guys, the goals came in abundance today. Oh my God, Eden Hazard was fantastic. But, if you're a team like Huddersfield and you're giving us space between the lines, I don't know what you're really doing. You made Hazard look even better because he had no game plan to stop him. And I think that, of course, that's good for us because that means that Hazard can start doing what Hazard does. And what I liked about Hazard today was that, he wasn't playing with too much crazy freedom. A lot of times the good stuff he was doing in the first half in particular was off the ball, making his runs, making his movement. And I think that as the game went on, there was more space to play and Hazard was just having fun, going everywhere he wanted. And honestly, the guy's a joy to watch. He's incredible. And I just like the combinations between him and Higuain, Gonzalo Higuain. This is the forward we've been waiting for. He's the forward we've needed. His movement is incredible. I love how he's just intelligent with everything he does. He can hold off a man. He's got that close control where he can play through people. He can link up the players as well. And his finishing on top of that. That run for the first goal, great play by Kante. No one's going to give him credit for that. Great reverse pass. And that's something that Kante's really stepped up on since December. His offensive output has become much better. And it was a great pass by Kante to find Higuain. And that was just a gunman finish, wasn't it? Come on, if that was like Giroud or Morata, we know that's hitting the goalkeeper. Higuain, he's an expert. Top corner. Look at the angle, first time shot. incredible. And even that second goal he scored later on, it brought back memories of Hernan Crespo outside the box curler, used the weight of the pass, another first time finish. And that was one thing I kept stressing to you guys in that reaction video I did to Higuain. His first time finishing is elite. Everything first time. That's how you unlock Higuain. His movement is so excellent that if you find the right pass, that's what you need. His finishing is elite. He's going to bury that. It was great to see, but you guys, you know, there were a lot of positives today. I think that after that heavy defeat to Bournemouth, this was the type of game we needed. But was it a perfect performance? Of course not. Now, you guys, you know I'm a purist. I can't help it. But of course it ain't a perfect game. And there were still some negatives in our game. Now, when it came to our build-up play, it was fine. But it's the execution. The execution. I mean, looking at a game like this where you're playing against a team like Huddersfield that, you know, you've got all the joy between the lines. In the Premier League, that's rarely ever going to happen. You're not going to get that much luck where you can just find a space between the lines. Now, if this was a Man City or another team, I feel like they would have even gone into overdrive and got even more goals. The amount of times I saw Higuain in space and no one was finding him was a bit incredible, in my opinion, because the guy's movement is that elite. There's literally, it wasn't as if Huddersfield were parking the bus either. It should have been easier, but the execution time and time again. Now, one of the main culprits today, Willian, I'm sorry, bro, I don't know what's been happening. You guys know me, I'm not a Willian hater, I'm not on that bandwagon. But I have to criticise if I have to criticise, and Willian just wasn't on point today. I feel it's because he hasn't scored as much. He's playing way too selfishly, which is just taking the piss. Times where he could have played in Higuain, he wasn't doing that. There was that chance where he took a shot with his left foot for the top corner. When's he ever scored with his left foot? When was the last time he did that? Higuain was free, ready to bury it in the back of the net. It didn't happen. It was an opportunity where he could have played in Ross Barkley. I understand what he's thinking. With Ross Barkley, is he going to do something with it? That's not for you to decide. You should have just played the pass. That was your job. He didn't do that, and time again I saw him slowing down the play by himself. Even Aspie at times was getting frustrated with him not releasing the ball quicker. It wasn't a good game for him, and I'm looking at Willian. I'm not really seeing any improvement. I think it's been his worst season for us so far, and it was really frustrating to watch him keep playing for us. And I think that he needs some time off the bench so he can regain some form. I think that he can't just sustain it by playing week in, week out. Anyway, I was speaking about Ross Barkley, moving on to him. Now, as I was saying, Huddersfield did give us tons and tons of space to play today. But at the same time, I have to review his performance in the context of this game. And Ross Barkley, I think, was his best performance because I saw himself expressing himself. And that's one thing you don't really see with Ross. He was finding, searching through balls. There was a time where he drove in midfield with the ball. We haven't seen Ross do that since Everton. It was great to see. And again, it was a completely different game because Huddersfield gave us all the space in the world. They didn't get tight to anyone. They barely closed people down. But as I said, Ross still performed in this output. And let's hope that, you know, this confidence from the game today is going to carry forward because we're going to have to rely on the squad today. And that's one thing that Sarri was definitely thinking about. I mean, he subbed off Hazard, who could have got a hat-trick. A bit frustrating, of course. It brought back memories of Conte from last season where he was constantly taken off feet when he had the opportunity to get a hat-trick. But you know what? For me personally as a fan, I'm annoyed. But I understand why the coach did it because we've got a lot of important games. It's going to be a crazy month with the cup final and everything happening. So we need these guys to be fully fit. I understand that. We saw guys like Ruben and Hudson-Odoi come on, which was good. Pedro didn't deserve to play because he was awful last week. But with Ruben, look at the hunger. I'm looking at Ruben now. I know when he gets fully fit, Sarri's going to start using him. And that's because Ruben now is understanding where he has to be and what he has to do in this system. I mean, when he came on in that 10-minute period, he was waiting for like 5 minutes just to come on the pitch, but the application, he was getting forward, he was getting back, he went to press and he went not to press, he was helping out defensively. It was good to see. I want to see that from Ruben, and I just think that when he gets fully fit, it's going to be good. Yes, Sarri used Kovacic as the Jorginho replacement. I've been saying for time. I think Kova is much better in that half compared to the final third because he provides nothing at all. But I think that in this role where he can be back up to Jorginho, that is going to be helpful for us as the season does go on. But I mean, you guys, you know what? It was a good performance. It's the type of performance we needed after the terrible defeat to Bournemouth. But I still can't help thinking, the execution isn't there. I mean, before Hazard scored the third goal, there was like this 20-minute periods where every time he was through on goal, it was the wrong passing decision. I remember Kante, easy pass to Alonso. God knows why he didn't play the pass to him. Now, yes, I understand that players might be doubting the abilities of others, but I still don't think that's right in my opinion. You have to just play that pass anyway. Don't start taking responsibility for people. Let them do what they did with the ball. I'm just thinking, we don't look for the forward enough. That was the most frustrating thing for me today. Higuain's movement is world class. I mean, it's better than Giroud's and Morata's by far. Diego Costa, from what I'm seeing, I think Higuain's movement is better than his because he's on the left, he's on the right, he drops deep, he moves forward. He's a complete forward. When he's making it easy for this team due to his brilliant positioning and they're not finding him, I find that hard to accept. Way hard to accept. And it gets me thinking next year, we still need obviously improvements down the right. Obviously, fullback areas as well, and a backup number 8 in my opinion. But I think that as the season goes on, with the confidence hopefully from this performance, it is going to help us. And I think that again, it's good. Higuain 2 goals, unlucky not to get a hat-trick, but you guys, that's enough from me. Obviously, shout out to Carefree Lewis Street, the cameraman today. Jeez, my guy. Obviously, you guys, I'm going to keep it moving. Thank you for watching. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lions TV, signing out.